Alrighty. Welcome back to the PDX Business Podcast. It's your boy Zeke Jones, aka Young Mill, and of course we are back to talk to real business owners and have real conversations. Of course, you know, people who do real business, and we are with somebody who does real business today. Well, I'm with two people, but you already know what it is. So first we're gonna start with my boy Johnny.
What's up? We back again, another one.
And now we're gonna get into talking to our special guest. This individual right here, known for a lot of different things, everything from comedy, everything from promoting, music, rapping. You know what I'm saying? Stealing people's girlfriends, things like that.
Shit.
I mean, hit or miss.
To the best of y'all.
Hey, that's might be a little bit long ago, but we're gonna get into it. We got Shrista in the house.
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing?
It's been a little while. How's everything been?
It's been great. It's been a minute, but the crazy thing is we always do stuff together like here and there randomly, so we always connected.
Yep, and it's always some big stuff too. Like for people in the town, there's really like a couple. I mean, there's a lot of people who are doing great things in the town, but like I really think that Shrista is one of those shining lights that everybody could probably agree on, that just brings good energy and good entertainment wherever she goes. So
hey,
oh yeah,
always trying to turn it up. Y'all know that.
All right. So for people that don't know who you are, like, what do you do? Who are you?
My name is Shrista. I am an entertainer. I'm a comedian. I'm a rapper. I'm a promoter. I'm a host. A lot of people know me as an MC, as a host, as a stand-up comedian. Also, as a host, I be rapping. So people know me as a rapper because I be doing a lot of comedy rap back then. I will say I've never really written anything serious. I just been a goofy rapper, so a lot of people know me as an MC, host, rapper, comedian, and promoter, as they said as well, because I throw my own events, I throw my own shows, so I throw comedy shows and hip-hop shows as the MC.
So you do a lot of things then.
For real.
So is there one particular thing that you like focus on more, or do you want to just branch out, do everything?
Call me out.
Curious, you know?
Overall.
Okay. Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm an entertainer. I've been trying to change my name or like my style, or what's the word? I've been trying to change like my title. There we go. I've been trying to change my title to an entertainer because people do see me as a comedian, which is an entertainer as well. A lot of people, if you actually Google the word, it's entertainer /
really
comedian,
Right.
literally. But a comedian is not also an entertainer if you Google that. So I feel like I'm an entertainer. And so that's what I'm pushing the most. And when I say entertainer, I mean satisfying the crowds, making the crowds happy, making crowds laugh. And so for me, hosting is my favorite thing to do. I love hosting because within hosting, I can be improv, I can riff, which people, if you don't know what riffing means in stand-up, that means just making stuff up on the spot. A lot of people think I'm doing stand-up written, but most of my comedy is actually riff. A lot of people do know that. But I love to just host. Hosting's my shit.
Gotcha.
Right.
So what was your first thing that you did? Like when you first started up? Like,
unfortunately, my first thing I did was stand-up comedy. It was stand-up. Stand-up was hard, man. I loved it, though. Stand-up was fun, and it was hard. Because it's fun because you always think you're funny.
Yeah, of course.
It's hard because not everybody laughs at everything you think is funny. Yeah. So I'll say stand-up's probably the hardest thing I do, but it's also, I would say it's like the thing that makes people love me the most. Yeah. And so with hosting, I can bring stand-up on the stage. I can bring that on the stage. I can bring rapping on the stage. So with hosting, I could do all the things I love to do in one. Right. So that's why I love hosting.
Kind of speak on like what made you get into comedy? I mean, you probably always had that funny bone in you for a minute, but what really made you pick up the mic and be like, all right, we're going to start writing these jokes or riffing or doing whatever?
It's wild because I've always been the class clown, but I never thought I'd be a stand-up comedian because I think when you're growing up in schools, you're always thinking about like, oh, what am I going to major in? Am I going to be a teacher? Am I going to be this? So you're not thinking about all that, even though like my whole life I was a comedian. My whole life I was funny. Everyone knows me like that. And then actually what happened was after actually getting a bachelor's degree and teaching.
Hold up, slow that down.
Wait, what?
A bachelor's degree?
I got a bachelor's degree.
That's
a 4-year degree. Thank you.
Let's go.
Black power, man.
Hey, that's dope.
I did that. It was really easy, actually. So not trying to hate on people who think college is hard. It was really easy, but I was good in school. Academics was easy for me, but I graduated college and I actually did not want to pursue what I was chasing because it did not feel right. Like I knew I wanted to be in front of people and I loved kids. I loved all that. But I was like, this just doesn't seem like what it is. Like it doesn't feel like the stage I'm supposed to be on.
Did it feel like it didn't live up to what you thought it was going to be? Or was it just like that wasn't where you're supposed to be.
It wasn't where I was supposed to be. Like I came from like a bad home. So like I got to work with low income kids, and so it was awesome. But also I was like, this still isn't what I imagined. And so it got to like, I graduated when I was like, 22. And then it took years. I just was just mad at the world. I didn't know what I wanted. And then I turned like literally like 28. And so I started posting videos because Facebook was getting kind of big around like 2009 or 10 or whatever. And so I started posting just videos of my opinions on trending topics. I literally would go on Google. I'd go on news pages, all the top news pages, and I would see what was trending. And then I would actually just make a video and kind of roast it. But it was more like my opinion, which people said was roasting. But it was my opinion on the trending topic. And then people just thought it was funny. And so I would just post 1-minute videos on trending topics, literally weekly. And then one day, like it was my friend's mom.
On the
my
video?
friend's mom straight up said to me, she said, Shrista, you are so funny. You should be a comedian. You should go do stand-up.
Wow.
No one's ever said that to me. I was like, huh? And she straight up goes, like, I literally go to stand-up comedy shows in Portland, and I ain't even trying to hate on y'all. But she said, I go to stand-up shows in Portland, and these people are trash. And you don't even do stand-up, and you're freaking hilarious. I bet you if you went on stage, you kill it. And so, dead ass, that's what happened. 2 weeks later, no one believes this, but Lance Edward, Dahlia, Hijinks were all there. I didn't know who they were at the time, but I decided to chase it. And so I was like, you know what? Let me try it. So I wrote up a set. At the time, I didn't know new comics were supposed to write like 2 minutes. I wrote a 14-minute set. My first set was 14 minutes, which apparently is crazy.
They didn't stop you, huh?
They didn't stop you?
Nope. So I show up and I was like, I got a set. And they're like, okay, 3 minutes. And I go, this is my first time. I was like, I wrote 14. And he's like, you're a new comic? And I go, yeah. And Hijinks goes, just do the whole set, girl. Do you?
Wow.
That's what's up.
And I was
because it's like, how are you supposed to trim something like that down? Because you got your build up.
No, so I was like, I already memorized it, and so like I invited everyone. I remember going on Facebook and say, hey guys, I decided to do stand up comedy. It was a Sunday, I remember, or some shit, and I was like, I decided to do stand up comedy. If any of y'all want to come through, come through. And I remember it was like 42 people from Facebook showed up.
Wow, that's good.
And we like sold out some open mic.
Yeah.
And that's lit, though.
And then I did good. I only forgot my set for like a half a second. I grabbed my notes, remembered it, and like I remembered almost 14 minutes and killed it. Yeah, and then that night was my first open mic, and here's what people get mad about. And I don't give a fuck. Y'all can hate all you want. Some people are naturally talented. Don't be mad at me.
You like
that's
that?
facts, though.
That night, I literally got asked, hey, Shrista, how long you been doing comedy? And I remember looking at someone and saying 10 minutes.
Just now.
That's
I
a
walked in this bitch.
Facts. At the time, I didn't know who he was. So this person comes up. It was Hijinks. Right. He comes up and he's like, so what are you doing February 12th? And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, you want to be on a show? And I was like, sure. And he's like, you want to be on the first annual Black Comedy Festival? And I didn't know what a festival meant because I just started that day 10 minutes ago.
Jesus Christ.
So I got booked for this festival that was only 7 days later. And because I was on a festival, if anyone knows what a festival is, it means every top comedian in the city in Northwest, it was actually in Northwest, was there.
Yeah.
And they saw this new comic with all this energy. And from that moment, that night, the next day I woke up, I just had like 50 bookings.
Damn.
That's crazy.
And I was booked nonstop. So I was literally an overnight celebrity. And I don't do open mics. I never had to. So people ask me, when do you do open mic? I never had to.
Like a lot of people don't realize how quick some stuff can start snowballing. Because you could do one thing and it can lead to so many things from there. That's kind of similar like to how I started getting kind of popping in the city too. I did one show. Actually, it wasn't my show. I just went to a show. Coolness happened to be there. And we just managed to chop it up with Nuts, and I showed him I was a rapper, and he ended up running into me at a different show, and he was just impressed. And then eventually I started opening up for people. He put me on a show at E40, which was my
As
first,
it should be.
my first big show.
This boy got stage
you know
presence. He ain't gonna tell y'all. Boy got stage presence.
So when you first started,
and Mike, because he knows all his stuff.
So when you first started doing the whole comedy thing, what was your first theater? Like what location was it that you first filmed at?
My first one was actually the Funhouse Lounge.
That's
the Funhouse Lounge is, it's one of the, like, I think they're in the top 4. There's only 4 comedy clubs.
So
here.
what are they? You want to name out? You want to name out?
Oh, let's name them in Shrista's opinionated order.
Yeah, just do it. Hey, opinions.
Put it out there, because we might be looking for some comedy clubs.
I'm gonna go Helium Comedy Club, Curious Comedy Club, Harvey's Comedy Club, then Funhouse Lounge.
Gotcha.
Only
Okay.
because Funhouse Lounge.
Is it fun?
I ain't trying to be.
house fun?
I ain't trying to be Charlemagne, but that nigga got some drama. So if he didn't have drama, his setup is way better than Harvey's. I'll say that.
Okay.
But some people know the drama. You could just Google it. I ain't saying it on here. That ain't my drama.
Yeah. So when you started doing comedy, like, was it like immediately like boom, you started popping, you got the 50, you say, or
Pretty much.
That's crazy.
It really was like I just got this star status from just weak ass jokes too. So
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy because I'm just making fun of my brother and my mom and my family, and I'm not thinking anything of it. But I really did like blow up from that moment. And the craziest thing is though, my friend Lance Edward, he's a comedian here in Portland. He's freaking huge. But he straight up said like, Shrista, you're killing it. Shrista, you're killing it. Shrista, you're killing it. But you know, you can grow more on your set if you can see if you're really funny when your friends and family aren't around. That's what people don't
Yeah.
realize. Even with rap shows, y'all can take some game.
because your
Y'all
homies are coming over and everything, yeah, everybody that supports you.
Homies
obviously.
are
feeding the energy in the
always
room.
going to make
Even
your
if it
show look
sucks.
better.
They'll help.
They're yes
Even
man.
if it
tip your
sucks.
energy
They're
over
yes
in the
man.
room.
They're like, oh, this is good,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
So most people do not know this, and I don't think I've actually ever told this part of my story. But so I used to do this set, the set that got me popular, and I was doing it for about a month. And then Lance and Hijinks were like, "Hey, you need to come down to Bend and do your set." And then Lance was like, "Hey, I just want you to know, it's just when you are performing in front of strangers, I know that like you got this huge fan base of people that love you, but like." Your friends and family just sweat you, and your comedy is some.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right. Like your energy is what kills it. Your theatrics is what kills it. Like my natural personality kills it.
Right.
He's like, your writing isn't that good, but you're gonna get better. Like I think you need some criticism or something. Like I think you need to stand outside of your friends and family. And I just thought I was funny, so I didn't believe shit this nigga said.
It's like this nigga hating.
Yeah. That's all I thought. Like this nigga hating.
Right. So what did that lead to? Did you end up finding that
I
was
love that you
solid
said that.
advice, or did you?
I remember going to Bend and being kind of upset that he said that, and then I opened my set, and no one laughed.
So how was that?
And I had to
That
do.
must-
It was my friend. And I was new. I was
Back
a
to
new
the
comic.
drawing board,
1
or-
month in there, exactly.
So did that make you want to quit, or that made you just like, oh, I gotta step back
I'm
and
too-
figure out what I want to do?
Boom.
Because most people want to quit. Because,
good.
oh, it's not working out for me. And they
That's
quit.
when you ain't a
It could
real
be over.
artist.
Yeah.
That's why I knew I wanted to be better, and I was
Gotcha.
actually embarrassed and mad. And I had to. And when you're a comedian, what artist like hip hop artists don't realize? Here's a big difference. I know you're not a hip hop artist. Just talking to him, it's just kind of like. When you go to a comedy show and you have to do your set, you still have to finish that 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It could be a long one. huh?
That felt like an hour. It was the worst 10 minutes of my life. They didn't laugh at all.
So-
and it hurt.
So being up there in that kind of situation, like what did you take away from that? What would you recommend for somebody who's up there and they just bombing their whole set? What's something that keeps them
Man.
going to get through that?
Somehow when you watch the video, I don't bomb as hard as I make it like I bomb, because I started just kind of riffing to kind of get the crowd on my side. But what it did teach me though, it taught me to work harder on my comedy. And so it taught me how to be more general, because my first set, I didn't realize how specific it was. And how, like, I mean that is like, I'm talking about my brother without explaining who my brother is. People don't know my brother's dark
Yeah.
skin. We have different dads. So he's actually just really, like, he's dark skinned, I'm lighter. We have the same mom. We don't know our dad. So, you know, we family, because we only know our mom, nigga. We grew up together. That's my
Right.
fam. That's blood, nigga.
I never thought about context in comedy.
Yeah, but I was new. So I'm thinking, oh, it's all my fan base, my friends and family. So I was just telling comedy, not even thinking to explain anything. But I'm talking about my brother's legs being so ashy, and that we used to play tic-tac-toe on them, and we really did.
Yeah.
And also, what I didn't realize is I was in white Portland. I was around black people most of my life. So I didn't realize that set also wouldn't hit because I was in Bend with white people. So not only...
They're like, what's ashy?
Exactly. So they already were confused. And then also they're white. So like, what's ashy? What do you mean you play tic-tac-toe? What are you even talking about? Like, they don't even understand. Like, you literally
They
scratch
might not
that
even know
in.
if it's safe to laugh.
Exactly. And that's what Lance told me.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
said sometimes you, like your first comedy, like, you don't know if you're safe to laugh.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, oh, I never thought about any of that. So my first set, I never did again after I went to Ben.
Damn.
I changed everything.
Of course, you gotta go back to the
I
drum
was
board.
pissed,
So how important is it with the comedian when you go up on stage with the crowd? How important is it for you to like read the crowd? Do you immediately go straight to whatever you're gonna do, or do you like talk to the crowd, see what's going on? Because I've seen those TikToks of like, they like the whole crowd work is crazy sometimes with the comedians.
I will say with crowd work, the way we all do it, so everyone could agree with this, is when you first get to a show, you usually are there at least an hour early, and you actually walk around. As a comedian, you have to network with the crowd before every show. It's actually a thing.
Even if they know who you are.
If you're not doing that, you're actually just not a good comedian. So if you're watching this, that's just game.
That sounds like game.
So in comedy, you walk around, you kind of, what I do, and kind of I feel like I learned it from other people at the beginning. I saw them like, how did you think of those jokes? And I kind of watched them. And I saw that they were walking around before their set even started, and you got to see who's in the crowd. You also can see who you want to roast. It's never.
Nobody
I
safe.
just gave that away. I'm sorry, y'all, but we actually observe everyone pre-hand.
That kind of makes sense though, yeah.
And so you kind of see who you want to make fun of. Like, you might not know what you're going to say about them, but you know your own jokes. And you know how they're going to come into that joke. Like, that bitch is dressed like that. Oh, I'm definitely clowning on her.
Definitely.
Like, it's different stuff like that. Like, at my Helium set, unfortunately, I am going to actually post it, though, because I did mess up my freaking semifinals because I riffed. It's why I don't like doing straight stand-up. It's why I like hosting. But I unfortunately riffed, which you shouldn't. I kind of got off topic, but it was good. The crowd loved it. But I got off topic because I remember seeing this white girl in the crowd. And I had this set about white bitches and liking white girls.
Yeah.
And she just happened to sit in the front row, and she actually was hot. So I was like, oh, I'm going to hit on her. So like that was already played into my set, kind of. I thought about it. I was like, oh, this is the competition. Don't do it. They told you not to riff. Just try to be a comedian and just do stand-up. It's so hard for me to just do stand-up. But I saw this, titties was out. I just went crazy.
You went for it.
And it's funny because people don't realize I'm just being a comedian. Like, I'm really not actually hitting on her. I like somebody else, And also she was there with a boyfriend. And so I just want you to know, after the show, I said hi to her, and she said hi, and her boyfriend just was pissed. He was just saying, I can't believe you hit on my girl.
Oh, man.
Because he didn't say nothing the whole time when I was hitting on her.
Just
that's thank
I was like, damn, you ain't gonna say nothing? I thought he would say something, but he didn't say nothing.
He wasn't ready for that.
But yeah, we pre-plan everything most of the time. Like, at least we see who's out there. But I would say the jokes, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna say.
Right. That's kind of interesting. Like, with that being like a white girl, like, do you ever find anything kind of spicy about like the interracial jokes, or how's that feeling right now? What's the temperature of that?
I will say, when I did the Black Comedy Festival this year, I knew my white girl set wasn't going to hit, so I wrote a new opening for it, and then it went viral on TikTok. So I wrote a new opening, and then the thing I'm mad about is on the TikTok video, it sounds like that person's like next to me, and in this TikTok video that I'm talking about a white girl and blah blah blah, and there's like a crowd member like going back and forth, and it sounds like I'm going back and forth with her. I'm actually not. I actually set my camera up next to my homegirl, way up top. It's like a real theater, so you know how there's like the bottom theater and the top way at the back.
Yeah, in the
I
back.
moved my camera and I put it next to her, thinking she wasn't gonna talk the whole time.
She was talking.
She was talking through my set, but for some reason the video, it sounds like it's like a crowd member maybe like up close to me, and she's going.
So did that work out for you?
It sounds like we're talking to each other, but we're not.
But did it work out?
And it went viral.
Yeah.
We're not talking to each other. She's just sitting next to the camera talking shit about my set.
Oh God.
And so she's just kind of commentating everything I'm saying, and that made it funnier.
Well, that's funny, dude.
I will say, when I said I said I dated white girls, and then I wrote this in. I'll say I wrote this in. Everyone thinks I riffed this. I did not riff this. So I open up and I say, it's a Black Comedy Festival, meaning everyone's black. So I knew that. So I walk in, I said, and I open up and I started dating this white girl recently. And then I just paused, I paused to see what people will do. And it's black people, so I know they're going to be mad. So all of a sudden you just hear moans. Just hear. And so I did know they would do that. So I actually wrote in, black people people shut up. People think I riffed that. I actually wrote that in. That was actually completely written.
Because you
think
It looks riff. It is not riff.
The
Yep, I
timing
know
was
how black
perfect on
people
that.
are.
Yeah, of course.
The
I know
timing was
how black
perfect.
people. They always mad when you date a white bitch. So I was like, oh, let me wait for it. And then I heard the moans, and I was like, black people, shut up.
Yeah.
And then my friend, still commentary. So it's just
the background. Yeah.
it's just funny. It's just funny. But
So
yeah.
when it comes to TikTok, I saw that your other video went viral with the train.
Yeah.
So explain
the
that.
infamous one.
So how the hell did that
Crazy.
happen? Obviously, people. I saw the comments. Oh, it was planned out. It was planned out. It was
The
planned out.
craziest
Or it's
thing is,
Photoshop.
it's funny because how the photo shoot worked. Actually, the train and the street shots. Let me think. Yeah, the train and the street shots were our first shots, I believe. No, second shots. There were second shots, and then we did like these Jeep shots. So Jeep shots were first, train shots were second. It was the same day. I didn't like a lot of the train shots, so I don't know why everyone else did. I don't know. I just didn't like that dark look. I don't know, but I like these Jeep, like the Jeep ones. So I was just, yeah, that shit was hard. So I was just posting it, and then like 3 months later, meaning I already had that photo we're talking about.
Whoa!
Yeah.
3 months later, you posted it.
And I didn't post it.
you?
This
Oh my God.
This is what really happened. So Leafs, don't be mad. I'm calling
explain
you
that
out.
shit. Explain that real
Leafs
quick.
is the photographer.
Okay.
So 3 months later, I'm like, all right, let me post the street photos. So I go to post the street photos. But the way we saw that, the one that went viral, the photo that went viral, during the shots, we didn't see until after because we did the whole shoot, and then we saw it after. And so we're scrolling, and then I was like, oh my God, what was that? And he's like, what? And then we scrolled back, and I was like, bro, I got photobombed by the fucking conductor? And he's like, what? And he's like, oh, that's crazy. And then, like, that's it. And so he sends me all the photos, and he doesn't send me that photo.
Okay.
What happened?
So I'm like, bro, why didn't you send me that photo?
because he thought it was like a throwaway. It's like he ruined
Boom.
it. I know how it goes.
So he goes, oh, I don't want that photo up because it's blurry.
Then
And
you
it
said
is.
what?
And then the
But
funny
then-
thing is the fact that it was blurry was actually the reason everyone said it was photoshopped.
Yeah.
Which is even funnier.
That's like when people
Which
see a
makes
UFO,
it
bro.
funnier.
Like,
So you said no. Give me that shit. Let me post
Yeah,
it.
I said, hey, bro, give me that. And so then I got the photo, and it was like 3 months later. He happened to keep all the shit. And so I was like, hey, let me get that photo. I just noticed it wasn't in there. And then I thought about it. I was like, my sister just told me to start doing TikTok, and she just showed me that sound shit.
Yeah.
da-da-da-da.
Yeah, and so then I was just like looking at sounds, and that was the only sound I feel like I ever knew because I always saw like people make those with the stupid
The
glasses.
Thug Life
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, the Thug Life one. So it was the only sound I knew at the time. I didn't know TikTok, so I was like, let me use this Thug Life sound, not thinking anything of it. Then I text Dre and I say, hey, send me the video of the BTS.
Yeah.
Send me the video. And then it's funny because in that moment he sent me that BTS. I go, you stopped videotaping right when I got photobombed? He goes, well, I didn't know you were going to be photobombed. I was just clicking 10 seconds so you had something to post on your story, which makes 100%
Yeah, of
sense.
course, yeah.
Even though everyone makes it like this is like some like thing we planned.
Yeah.
No, he was just clicking BTS. We didn't know we were going to be photobombed. Like, or he would have kept recording, but he
Yeah.
didn't know.
So what you're saying is all the stars aligned.
Yeah.
On
this-
accident.
On accident.
By accident. Yeah.
That's just crazy.
So then I said, send me this video. And he's like, what are you doing? I was like, my sister showed me TikTok. And I'm not thinking anything of this. And I'm just making this quick video on my break, like my 10-minute break. I click it. I was like, let me put this Thug Life video, this Drake video, this Photoshop video, see, I'm playing Photoshop now. This fucking photo
Exposed.
video, this photo video that Leafs doesn't want because he thinks people are going to think it's Photoshop. And the fact that everyone did think that cracks me the fuck up.
That's so
because he
crazy,
literally did not want me to post this photo. And so I was like, okay, maybe I said, is it cool if I post it with a video? He's like, so then I post the video on my break.
Yep.
I click it. I literally go on break. And I am at this time I was a bud tender at a really busy store, so I don't even check my phone until 2 hours later. I go on there and it has like 6 million in 1 hour.
That's insane. Dog.
And I was like, wait,
From
what?
a picture. That's it. And then people are gonna. I saw that. People are like, oh, it's fake. And then you posted the video.
Exactly.
And then Leafs is annoying because
Yeah.
he's like, oh my God, this
I don't
is
want
so
nobody to see this.
disrespecting. But no, he was thinking no. When it went viral, he thought disrespectful. He's like, it's so disrespectful. People think it's Photoshop. I did not Photoshop that.
I see.
Did you
Yes.
tag him too when you posted it? You tagged him and
Yeah, and he
everything?
started getting irritated. Like, I ain't Photoshopped that. I'm like, nigga, I know you didn't. I got your back.
Yeah.
Till the day we die.
And then you posted that.
And I held
Yeah,
that
video.
shit.
Yeah.
And then I actually, because freaking Dre happened Thank you, iPhone. Shout out to Apple one time. Shout out to Apple having live video. It's the only
picture.
reason we happened to catch the photo, the conductor.
That's so crazy.
He stopped it right when he was coming out, and then we clicked the live photo, and live photo like does some weird shit where it slows down.
Yeah.
And it actually has him coming out.
That's fucking
only in the
sucks.
live photo though. So then I
was, like,
screen
meant to be.
recorded the live photo, and that's why people
Smart.
are like, "Why don't you play it all the way through?" Because I can't, because it's a
That
live
was like
photo.
a whole
literally
series of
can't.
events in different TikToks that just explaining everything. But when it comes to explaining something, like, how did you end up actually tracking this guy down?
that
And how
was
did he
nuts.
find you? Or are you?
So
Internet's
that
nuts.
happened
Right.
within 2 days.
What?
So actually, someone posted, and I don't know,
That's
maybe
insane,
I'm gullible, but it was only the only person who had said it at the time, so maybe that's why I believed it. She said, "Oh my God, that's my husband. He works at Amtrak Portland."
Conveniently,
Wow.
just there you go.
And then no, everyone was coming, "Wow, we don't believe that." Blah blah blah. Everyone's talking shit to her.
And then here you go.
So then she replies with a video
video.
of him, and we don't know what he looks like because he has a mask on, but it kind of looked like him. So I was like, and then he comes out with a video. He's like, "Hey, I'm the guy from the video. Blah blah. blah. I do it all the
Of course, it's
time."
him.
That's a
And then it
movie.
totally looked like him.
Yeah.
And so then I met up, and he was just hella cool. And his whole family was there. We got to walk through Amtrak, meet everyone. Everyone was staring at us because we were actually viral. So people actually recognized us. Like, oh my God, that's the viral people.
Yeah.
Like, it was a real thing.
It wasn't just one of y'all. It was both
Yeah.
of y'all.
So it was actually
Both of
kind of
you, yeah.
cool.
No, that's dope. So when it comes to that, so you found out TikTok, you went viral and whatnot. So you posted that on Instagram. Did that go viral too on Instagram?
It did. Viral as in 300,000, which is not viral. Viral is actually considered 3 million.
I mean, back then
people
it's-
just lie about viral. Viral is actually 3 million and up.
I saw that you started getting paid from Instagram.
Yeah, I get paid
So
on
talk
a
about
lot
that.
of platforms.
So how do you as an entertainer, somebody that wants to start doing, getting money off social media, how does that happen? Like what platforms do you get paid, and how do you start getting paid from those platforms?
So pretty much every single platform pays. I believe Twitter's starting to pay or something. Like Snapchat pays, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, For me, I'm more of like a personality. So they say if you want to like post videos, you should post some entertaining, educational, inspirational.
Gotcha.
So you should do either one of the three or all of the three, and you're killing it.
Yep.
And so I just try to post videos like that all the time. And in order to get these platforms to pay you, pretty much, you have to be engaging on their platforms, and you have to be getting views. You have to be interesting. But also, which most people don't even realize, it's just metrics. So, like, for instance, Instagram, YouTube. Instagram, you have to have 10,000 followers. You have 10,000 followers, boom, you can get monetized. But those 10,000 followers have to come organically.
Yeah, it's not like paid
cap.
or no
That's what people
bots.
don't realize.
No
And so
cap. You can't just cheat
I'ma
your
tell
way
you-
there.
I'm gonna tell you this because you say that there will be niggas who have 42,000 and all these views on Instagram and be like, Shrista, how you get paid? Well, you only got 11,000. I'm like, oh, because my shit's actually real 11,000 friends, not some shit I bought off a website, my nigga.
Not some dude that's came to me, hey, I'll give you 20,000
Exactly.
for $500.
Exactly, but it's easy as just getting real followers, and then you get paid. YouTube, same thing. You just have to have 4,000 followers, or there's 1,000 followers, 4,000 watch hours.
Yeah.
If you're a podcast, for instance, getting watch hours is a thing you can pretty much run up really quick.
How long do you stay on the video for, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And once you reach 4,000, just in general, like all together, it doesn't matter when, it's all together on your YouTube.
You can flip that switch on, huh?
Yes. So you have to have the
Monetization.
4,000 and then 1K subs. Boom, you got it.
Yeah.
Instagram, it's way easier. It's just 10,000 followers.
That's crazy.
That's all. And then they pay from Reels. They pay from, they kind of copy Patreon, if you know what that is. So they're doing subscriptions now. You can get paid from lives. A couple months ago it was lit. You just had to go live for 30 minutes and then you got paid $100, or you had to go live for 1 hour with somebody. Shout out to, I ain't gonna say their name, but if you saw a lot of us creators going live with people,
For a little
it's
bit.
because we were
Is that
actually
why
getting
Tory
paid
Lanez-
hundreds of dollars.
Tory Lanez is out here making.
I ain't saying names locally or celebrity, but we got paid on Instagram. All you had to do
Facts.
is bring somebody on your live video and you got paid. Why are you wondering why nobody's doing that now? Because we ain't getting paid for it. They actually took it off because Instagram gave out too much much money, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I bet too.
So now you can only get it from badges. So like your
Yeah.
fans have to send you money.
Of course, yeah. Stars, whatever.
That's
on
kind of like
Facebook.
how Twitch is.
I mean, it sucks for me, but
Facebook.
like, for instance, my sister is actually viral and everything.
Yeah.
So she's like, she has a different type of personality where people do send her shit. Like she has like, I also say that bitch is pretty. So motherfuckers, but it is a lot of bitches like
the
women
looks.
sending her shit.
Yeah.
Like women love her. She's very inspiring. And so people just love her personality. So when she goes live, they're just sending her money. I don't have that type of fan
Just
base
'cause?
yet, and
Just
I'm just like,
'cause,
Hey, that's a plug.
yes. I'm just like, damn, you lucky motherfucker. But yeah, Facebook does the same thing.
Yeah.
So I get paid on Facebook too. Same thing.
gotcha.
You hit a
Okay,
metric.
okay.
I ain't gonna tell you that metric. Go Google it. Goddamn,
Google it.
that's what
Yeah,
I had to
do
do.
your own work.
Yeah, go
Literally,
do your own work.
all
Put
I
the work
did is
in.
looked on YouTube. If you
Right.
literally write how many followers in order to be monetized on any platform, all it is a metric. Everyone's
Gotcha.
making it harder than it is.
Yeah.
It is not.
It's not. It just
It's not.
do it.
Hey, listen to Shrista. She teaching y'all how to
I know,
fish.
right?
She not about to feed you.
right?
She teaching you how to fish so you can feed yourself.
Man.
Don't ignore
Exactly.
these tips.
And
Sure.
getting
Yeah.
followers might be hard, but getting followers is posting your content.
On daily
Posting
basis.
videos.
Yeah.
That's how I got all my followers. So it's really about really building your fan base.
So going back real quick to your comedy, how important is it for you to be careful what you say? Because you know nowadays how cancel culture.
Oh, yeah.
Internet's fucking nuts. They don't want to talk about nothing. You see Kyrie posted all that.
Oh, yeah.
All that shit happened with him.
Well, I haven't.
You know what I'm
I'll
saying?
say I haven't tapped too hard into stuff. I'll say that
So-
because I'll say I've been hosting a lot lately.
Yeah.
Meaning I'm just kind of riffing off of people in the crowd.
So talk about so you're a host. Let's say.
But
so,
even my current comedy isn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
So-
it doesn't really do anything.
So you're a host?
unfortunately. I'm a nice comic. I'm like
I don't
I'm
know.
not explaining. I'm like funny,
Yeah.
not. I'm
Controversial,
not, I'm
I
not
guess.
offensive.
Yeah.
I don't explain it. It's not. I don't feel like a lot of my comedy offends people.
But when it comes to cancel culture, like people want to be, they want to cancel people for no reason at all. So let's say
they
you're a
always
host.
do.
So let's say you're a host and you have a pretty big comedian come in here and he happens to do something crazy online. He gets canceled. Are you gonna still have him on your show? Or are you
Depends
gonna
on what he did.
Are you gonna
Depends
be?
on what he did.
Okay,
Depends on what he did. I only say that because I'll say this. Fuck it, I'll say his name. Reed Clark. Portland canceled him. And it was white people who canceled him. They canceled him because he literally was asking a question about something in the LGBT community as a black man. It wasn't actually offensive. It was just white people not understanding that not everyone understands everything. And I'm going to say straight up, a lot of white men might just be like, oh my God, I'm cool with everything. And black men just want to answer. Why is he not allowed to ask a question? And so I think people just judged him for asking a question. It was something about trans, but he asked a question. And then he actually got educated and he was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be educated. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And he was so nice about it. And people literally like try to grill him. And as a black woman, growing up in the black community, I'm going to say straight up, I understand black men. I know where they're coming from. And I know a white person will never understand where a black man is coming from or even understand why they might be more homophobic than other people. But it's not really because they may think those views. A lot of us were raised into homophobia. I'm a gay person. I was raised into homophobia. You are raised hating gay people. Like, people can deny it all they want. We are literally raised not to be gay. If you're gay, oh my God, you're gross.
Yeah.
If you're a man, you're gay. Oh my God, you're looked at different. Like if you're a woman, like it's just being gay is a bad thing.
But now it's hella accepted.
And it's you could say that, but if you're gay, it's not.
That's a
We're
whole different
shitted on
story.
24/7.
It's just like people trying to say that racism is died down.
Yeah, it's
but
not.
As black people, you know, you still see it.
So everyone was hating on because, you know, black men black men grow up in like the homophobia, black culture, the black culture. And so when he was asking the question, I actually saw his question as literally asking.
Yeah, just
Not
simple.
in a
He wasn't
mean
part
way.
of like he wasn't on stage
It
doing like a
wasn't spiteful.
like a skit type of
Nope,
joke.
it was
Simple,
not
like, question.
spiteful.
Just-
It was just a question.
Yeah.
And then everyone judged him, and then black people just had his back, and then I had his back. And since I was gay, people were making like, oh my God, you're gay, and you're having his back. I was like, he asked a question, and then you guys responded, and he actually was like, okay, cool. Thanks for educating me.
It's like,
And
you
that's
say
all
what the
it was.
question was?
I think it was a joke he had told, and he was asking if it offends people of the trans community because he actually didn't know if it
Gotcha.
offended people.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it
yeah.
was. I remember that's what it was. They said it was, and he was educated, and he's like, okay, I'm going to take that set out.
Yeah. As long as
And then he got canceled for that.
He had good intent.
Educating himself.
He had good intent. That's
so
crazy.
then back then I had this show called Juice. I do a show similar to it now called Clownin'. It was almost pretty much the same setup. And so I had him headline, or I didn't have a headline, but I had him open. So he was like right before the headliner. And then everyone was trying to cancel me for booking him.
Fuck that.
And you know what the best part was? At that time, I didn't give a fuck about the stand-up scene because I had already started my own comedy shows because they had already started trying to cancel me because of how I talk. Because I was one of the only black people in the scene, just so you know. Yeah. So I talk different, so they already hated me. They're already trying to cancel me. So when I book Reed, they try to literally cancel me, which they did. And all the comedy scene, fuck all y'all, because I'm way better than y'all and killing it on all y'all now. Ooh, I know you mad. I know you're so mad you canceled me. It's supposed to hurt. But yeah, they all canceled me and never booked me. I haven't been on a lot of big comedy shows, and you'll probably wonder why, because I'm a big comedian. It's actually because they were hating. They just didn't want to see me win.
That's why.
I think it started with like you started throwing your own stuff because they were kind of shunning you, or was it the other way around? Like you started throwing your stuff and then they started shunning. It was because they didn't like how I talked. They didn't like my comedy. A lot of white people, which is pretty much every single, at the time it was almost every host. They told me I couldn't say nigga. I would literally talk to like my friend Belinda and Chris Johnson about how other people, like other hosts would tell me I had a list of things I couldn't say, and they thought I made this up. They're like, you're making, I was like, no. They literally give me a list of things I'm not allowed to. I thought everyone was getting these lists. Wow.
But it's just my black ass.
So you came, so you was already being censored.
Yeah. I was censored from the jump. I was told I couldn't say nigga. I was told I couldn't do this set about this Samoan girl I fucked because they said it was fat shaming.
In a 21 and up cult club.
Yep.
That's wild.
Yep. They said a lot of that shit.
That's wild.
That's wild, bro.
So I was just canceled from the beginning to a point where I felt like I started writing comedy for white people. Like my set I have is my most famous set about fucking white girls. I have fucked like 3 white girls in my life. I have pretty much been with all blacks and Mexicans.
I can't say the same.
I wrote that.
Same.
I've been with white girls like the last 4, maybe like not even the last 4. Like I've been with 4, but it's like I wrote that set so that like white comedy could like me, and so I'd be accepted in the scene. And I started writing for white people, and then I realized, fuck y'all. Yeah. I'm about to continue to be myself and do me because I know I'm awesome. I know I'm great. And so then I created my own events and started doing my own thing. They really haven't booked me in 5 years. No one books me. They all hate me.
Have you heard anything
They all
from
hate
them?
my comedy. The only people who book me are people who are popping like companies. So it doesn't matter.
The ones that matter.
Guess who books me? Willamette Week, Portland Mercury, people who matter. I don't give a fuck about some local comic.
A lot of people really don't they don't realize that once you start doing well, that shit starts coming at you so much harder, bro. Like the bad shit.
And people
You know
try to, I'm trying to book you, Shrista. It's just gonna be door or something. Like I don't need that show. I don't need that at all. Like doing that show does nothing for my career. Getting not paid anything for a new like it literally does nothing. And so I'm at a point I can decline events because most of these niggas ain't trying to pay anyways. I ain't about to do nothing for y'all. Because me doing an event to be 100 brings out a lot of people, and I don't do a lot of events. We have it to where I'm only doing 1 or 2 events.
It's like exclusive.
A month. And I don't even want to do 2. I want to keep it to 1. And I literally said I'll do podcasts, all the random other shit, and then like a show just to push it. But like people come out, so you are about to pay me.
That's right.
End of story. And if you hear this, you ain't getting me for free.
Exactly.
So to talk about something else besides all this, you had some kind of traumatic experience with your arm. Something happened with that. Is that something you want to talk about right now? About what happened with your surgery and all that shit?
Awkward and shit.
I don't know.
What happened to you?
Like, what happened? Because I mean, I knew something happened, but I don't know exactly what the whole situation was.
Well, all that really happened. I was killing it.
BMX and parkouring.
Parkour.
I was actually only doing this for like a year. So I think it was 2018 I started, literally. I started in 2018. I think it was February 2018. And then it was only March 2019. So I was actually popping. I got all this fucking crazy celebrity status. And then 1 year later, I did get in a car accident caused by me. I don't really want to talk about all that. But I got in a car accident and, I fucked myself up, but I lived. But unfortunately, I just broke so many bones that I ended up getting a post-op infection like 7 months later.
That's wild.
So they told me I had a blood infection, which pretty much meant I was dying this entire time.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know, but I knew because I knew something was wrong because I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, literally
Something
couldn't
was
do
off.
anything.
Yeah, something was off.
And it wasn't getting better. Like I broke 7 bones and it felt like every day it was hurting more. And that's when again, I ain't gonna get in all the lawyer shit, but that's when I went in and just kept fighting for myself and telling them something was wrong. It took them literally a black surgeon to fucking listen to me, and I got a test and they literally said I'm dying, and I was like the CDC came in 1 hour later.
Oh, to see what it was?
They had to figure out what's
Because
going
I
on.
had a literal deadly infection that was rare, and they didn't know what it was.
Wild.
And so the CDC came in with like Men in Black suits.
It was like, let me figure out a name for this.
Yep, they had like CDC, and then they did find out what it was.
They put out the
it's a
little
hard
thing
name. It was like called like osteoporosis pseudomonas.
Oh my God.
So it's a bone infection, but it's a 6% thing, so they don't have anything on it. So like even if you look it up, it shows a Harvard study and there's nothing on it. So pretty much they're like, hey, you're dying. We don't have any cure. And it was just kind of like that day, and it was really scary.
That sounds scary.
And
Sounds spooky.
Yeah, and I didn't really know what to do. And they said, but we have beat this like 80% of the time. We just have to pump. We have to pump diseases into you. It's pretty much like chemo. So pretty much I did chemo.
Damn, that's
So I had, for 6 months, I had all these diseases pumped in me. The first one almost killed me. It was actually brain cancer. They're using the brain cancer cure to save me. It did not save me. It almost killed me.
So what they did, they were injecting other
Cures
diseases.
to see if it...
So other disease
Vaccine,
cures.
yeah.
To try to see if
cure
it
it.
works,
Yeah,
see what
yeah, yeah.
happens. So they're just throwing darts at the board.
Yeah, so
how
because
long-
of that, yeah, it was about 6 months. So because of that, I had to have a nurse every day
Man,
come
that's
in.
scary.
And since I was like just a blah thing in my life, I couldn't work or do anything. So pretty much I couldn't pay my rent for my apartment because I couldn't work or
Wow.
move. So I called my best friend at the time, Echo the Savage, and I just pretty much was like, so I can't take care of myself or do anything. And let me just say he's a real one because he let me stay at his house for free. And then I got the surgery and I couldn't do anything. Couldn't shower, couldn't do nothing. My mom had to shower me for months. Echo had to feed me. And I had an immune system disorder as well as what it is also. So pretty much all my white blood cells were gone.
Yeah.
So that means I have, if I get a germ, I die.
Well,
So when Echo had to give me food, or Larissa came to visit, or Jedi came to visit,
They had masked up crazy.
they had a mask. It was before the pandemic. This is before the pandemic.
so you already prepped.
Yeah, so they had a mask up and they had to actually go into the bathroom. They had to wash their hands all the way up to here. Because if they had any germs that touched me, I'd die.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so
wild,
crazy
dude.
coming from the world where you just literally networking around the room, talking to all
right.
these
And then
people.
I
Like,
just found out I'm dying. And I'm like,
you
wait,
can't be by nobody.
what? It was, and it was crazy. And so that went on. I did end up beating it in March 2020. And it's right when the pandemic happened, which was
Oh, the
so
timing was-
annoying.
Saying you were prepped for it.
March was like, it was like
It's
March
blessing, though.
22nd when the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
So then I went right back into that. And so people just actually forgot any of that happened to me. That's
Yeah.
all that really happened.
crazy.
Yeah.
Because the pandemic happened, everyone went underground.
So how did that affect you when it comes to your entertainment? What you do? Like you were gone. You were out.
Good question.
Were you moving
Out
different? Like,
for like what, 9 months, 8 months, something like that. You were
That's
out.
a great question because I'm so freaking smart.
What you do? Yeah.
I kept bossing up going. I kept late lyrics going. And the way
How?
I did it is I just booked a host because I'm the production. And I'm really good at
bossy.
my run a
You're
show.
making shit happen.
My run a show was schmack. So everyone knows
So
their job.
How successful
All they
were
didn't
those
have
shows?
was the host.
So how successful were those shows without you there?
Good, because you know what? I came back and late lyrics became the biggest hip hop over Mike ever, and
That's
nigga almost
wild.
died. But I know me, Pat, like I almost
said, "I almost
died.
died."
Helped my brand. Anyone, no one's gonna say it, but I'll say it for y'all niggas. But
Yeah.
passing away brings a lot of attention to you as well. But that's not
It's
what I
because
wanted
people
at the
actually
time.
realize they care about you. You know what I'm saying? When you're
People came out the
hanging on by a
woodworks.
thread, they realize that, damn, we kind of like this girl.
Yeah, and I'll say a lot of a lot of my haters fell off during that. Because a lot of people, like, I was mad at, or we were mad at each other. Like, when I was dying, it was just there, like, nigga, who cares about some bitch that we both fucked? That was one of them. That was one of them. They're like, bro.
They're like, it wasn't that bad.
They're like, bro, we moving on, bro.
I don't want to,
like, who cares? People came out the woodworks.
That's crazy.
It did suck. But I actually just hired hosts for my events, and then I just decided to take over social media. I did sleep most of the day. I think I was up for maybe 6 hours. Yeah. Because the meds made me sleep literally, I think it was 21 hours out of every day. Shut up. So
yeah, that's a blessing. I'm glad that you made it through that, bro.
Yeah, it was just like, I just took over social media. That's when I began social media. That's when I started YouTubing and learning about this metric shit. Yeah. And then I started learning how to gain followers and making all these videos before everyone else was doing all those things. And so I got monetization before most people. Yeah, just because I was the only one doing it.
So was it around that time that you kind of started to transition into doing more music stuff when you were closer to Echo and things like that?
Yeah, that is what happened. I started doing like comedy raps and stuff, and like Tatiana remix, that one hit. It was pretty funny. But I started just doing rapping, but it's because I'm a performer. Yeah, I love performing. I don't really think it has to do with me wanting to be a rapper. I just love performing. I love entertaining.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that's why
seems like you have a very passionate idealism about the hip hop scene.
I freaking love hip hop.
In the industry, things like that.
I don't know what it is. I just love hip hop. I just love music. I love the beats. I love rap. I've always just loved rap in general. I can't even explain it.
Yeah, I've noticed that about you. So what made you want to start managing your little cousin Jay Prodigy?
Oh, Lil J.
I saw that. So I saw that. So listen. So I saw that you started managing her. She's young. I've seen her shit. She can rap.
She kind of cool.
But what made you start managing? Because then you have your own manager, Dre. So
well, we're new. This is like in the last year. Okay. But Jay, she's my cousin. So when I started babysitting her at 3 years old, I was babysitting her, and her dad always rapped. And so I think her being around him rapping all the time made her want to be a rapper. Yep. So when I babysat her, literally at 3 years old, she'd always say, put on a beat.
Mm-hmm. Wow. As a child.
Yep, I have it all. That's a rapper. It's all on her SoundCloud. I have her SoundCloud. I literally recorded her back then, so I have all her
How old
raps.
is she right now?
She's 12.
That's wow, dude.
But I used to record her, and she used to just rap and freestyle. We have her freestyling like every Thanksgiving. She holds it down. So like she just was always
scared
rapping.
of none.
Yeah, and she was just a performer, and also even though she wasn't saying words back then, it was her cadences. And I love hip hop. I follow hip hop enough to know when a nigga can rap on a cadence. Yeah. The way she flowed on cadences without knowing words.
With no words.
I was a nigga, that sound hard. And then when she started like learning words, like she's a kid. You got to remember, like she has to go through different stages of life. I don't think until like 4th grade she learned how to like make sentences that made sense, if that makes sense. Like 3rd and 4th grade. And so then we brought her to late lyrics, and people kind of saw her. It was kid shit, but her new stuff that we're about to drop is way tighter, but it's been years and years and years of working with her. And now Mighty is actually co-managing her with me right now. That's hard. Because her rapping is finally at a level that I think she can drop on Spotify. So her and Mighty and Echo are working on her first single right now.
That's what's up. Let me know if y'all need the video.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? And also, how important is it for you to, when your cousin that can rap, and also how important is it for her to know how to perform, how to entertain, how to stage presence?
See, she getting all the game. She getting all the game young.
Because a lot of people can say, oh, I can rap, They don't have the stage presence. They don't have the crowd work.
I teach her all that. It's usually at Echo's house or his studio. Normally we actually have a studio session of us practicing. It's not a studio session to record. Yeah. It's a studio session where we literally practice. And I'm a really good performer. If anyone says I'm not, you're tripping. I'm not. I have no stage fright. Right. And so I perform with Jory. Usually I stand next to her and we go through her songs and I get on her head pretty much.
Like what? Like for instance,
I have her like get on a knee for a song. Like I'm like, I saw Mulatto do this thing where she got goddamn. It was like, yeah. And so now she'll like put her foot like on like that or something. Yeah, and do that. Like you do that too. And so like different things that she doesn't know. So I'm trying to teach her. And like she went to like she just did a show with like Fontaine, and Matt Randall was a show recently, and I was really excited because she finally gets to see good artists.
Isn't Fontaine a producer?
I don't know.
Oh, I think you're talking about Spike.
A Spike, yeah.
I was like, I don't know who you
Never
talking
mind.
about. No, I'm talking about the literal nigga that lives in Portland. But
He got
yeah.
confused with Spike Fontaine. He do
I was like, what?
beats for like Cardi and all them.
Yeah, but yeah, he's killing it.
I think when you kind of got close interaction with a young artist like that, you kind of really get to help mold their future in a way. Are there any kind of tips that like stand out to you that are kind of first and foremost that you wanted to make sure she knows going into it as a young artist?
Man, it's funny you say that. Actually, just because I'm a comedian, we gonna not even be serious at that.
Just go for it.
So the fact that you say that, we've been teaching her about branding and like your image and like what you want to portray. And she just recently wrote these bars. And
What'd she say?
She didn't tell me what they were. All she said was, my mom said she didn't want me to do these, but she wants your opinion. And I said, what are the bars? I've never got an opinion. She writes all her own stuff. I've never helped her. I don't got bars like that. I don't got cadences like that. If you hear J Prodigy rap, I don't rap like that.
No.
There's no way I can either. I can't rap as good as her, and she's 12. Can't rap as good as her. So anyways, she was like, so I wrote these bars about Dahmer.
Oh my God.
That's all she said. Not like if you said
nah.
eat it up
Too
like
soon.
Dahmer. Nope.
Oh, no.
I said, I don't know what you said, but nope. And that's what I'm going to say right there. I gave her game in that spot. I said, I'm going to be real with you, Lil J. You can say whatever you want as an artist, technically.
Yeah.
But as your manager, I'm going to tell you should not do that because you got to remember this. And also, you got to remember Lil Jory just lost her dad. We just lost her dad
Right.
5 months ago, you know? And so she just lost somebody. We were able to have a funeral for him. So I used that against her. But I straight up said, like, hey, I just want you to know, like, it's a good line, but you got to remember, like, there's families that don't get to have a funeral.
Yeah.
There's
exactly.
families who literally have to think about their kid being served up like steak, which is so disgusting and effed up.
Yeah.
You don't want that image. And also like, we just lost Jay, and I'd be mad to ever know any of that shit.
Right.
So I would say don't bring that into your brand. And also, girl, this is
Protect
like our
your brand.
first song.
Yeah.
Don't start our image with Dahmer.
yeah, that's
I said don't. I'm talking you up out here, girl.
Yeah, that's crucial.
She
You got
did
to be
laugh,
careful with
and
them
she was
first
like,
impressions.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gotta be
First
careful with them
impressions
first
are
impressions.
everything.
For sure.
So your last live, I saw that you went live on Facebook a few, I don't know how long ago it was.
It's probably like,
I'm always live.
probably like
so-
2 weeks
So
Which
ago.
one we talking
So
about?
your most recent
What
one,
I
you
do?
talked about how Charlamagne the God, how he goes and gets both sides of the story, right?
Okay.
And then you talk how Portland is hella like liars.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
Bro, I was
we
talking about
want
that
elaborate.
day.
What do you mean exactly about like Portland is liar? Like people are just flexing on what they got, who they
At
got.
the time, I was
or what-
actually talking about something specific that I'm definitely not bringing up right now.
Oh,
Only because it got pushed out the system, and we ain't talking about that.
That's cool.
But I will say, I feel like Charlamagne the God into the point of, I feel like a lot of people talk a lot of trash up here. I feel like a lot of people let a lot of trash shit go. For instance, just 'cause I need to get this off my chest. Y'all niggas cannot make flyers. God damn. Can you please
Zeke's
just
always
hire
talking
a
about
graphic
this.
Bro,
designer?
every time.
I hate that everyone thinks they're good. I'm gonna be 100.
You trash.
I will tell like you straight up, nobody in Portland can make good flyers. If you're a promoter right now, you probably suck. I am not even trying to be rude. Y'all niggas suck. I'm tired of seeing it. Y'all make Portland hip hop look bad. Stop.
I'm just mad at all the text being so squished together. I can't find the address. I don't know if it's in
Bro, shit be
town.
ugly as
I don't know if it's in Seattle. I don't know who performing the headliner. There ain't no hierarchy. You know what I mean? I
Like,
don't
and
know,
that's what
bro.
I'm saying. People act like my production, like, not saying I don't do great production, but it's like the fact that like I don't even got competition. Y'all niggas can't even produce shit like professionally. Like niggas can't even, like, when I'm booking events for other venues, like I book for venues and stuff, and then it's like I ask people for simple stuff like, let me get a flyer. They be sending me the ugliest flyers, nigga. I ain't sending that to them. This is in my name.
Yeah.
They put this down Shrista's event.
They go in.
I ain't
Oh my
sending
God.
that. So
Do
I
you-
wrote a status about that talking shit.
That's facts. And that's kind of crazy because when I was coming up, like I always was doing my own graphics because simply that same fact.
Exactly.
I'll be booked for these shows and I'm like, dog, I'm not finna post this, John.
Bro.
I need to make a whole new flyer just so my fans are actually interested in this.
Mm-hmm.
Because that first impression, they look at it, they're swiping. They might not even see my name.
And I've had people mad that like I always make artist flyers. Even if your flyer is good, I still make artist flyers if they don't make one for you.
Yeah.
And then some people get offended and I'm like, I definitely never gonna post your shit. Your shit trash.
Because that's actually a good tip for people who are like artists in the city or
it's such a little thing that it changes everything. Like people can make it like flyers aren't a big deal, but think about this. My first show was Bossing Up. I had never thrown a show in my life, but you know what? I had Alex Casso De Niro make my flyer.
Shout out Alex.
Tightest flyer ever. People made it like I've been doing this forever. It was actually my first show.
Because he's so legit with it.
It was so tight that I think people thought it was my first show, so I just played it or my millionth show, and so I just played it like it was, and it was my first show. But it's because I did my research. If people did better flyers, they would literally be taken more serious. But unfortunately, they have all these other trash people telling them it's good.
That's true.
And there's like a $10 flyer.
Yeah.
The homie is trying to do.
Yeah, and it sucks.
Wow.
It sucks.
And I hate most of things here in Portland. Like there's a lot of things. I hate how most motherfuckers dress. That's what I talked about today.
Yep.
And I'm gonna straight up say, half of the white rappers here, what the hell are you wearing, nigga? You look homeless. What are you doing?
Got the easy on.
You are making the black culture look bad. I get the, oh my God, this is what I wrote. No, you are making, like, if you are wondering why a black feature ain't gonna feature with you, is because of the way you dress. Like that's just making black folk look bad. Stop.
Yeah. So how do you feel about like people that don't support each other in Portland? Like artists don't support each other, because I've seen that artists do not support artists.
I don't know what
around
you mean
here.
Do they need
necessarily? What do you mean support? Because
like for example, like there's a lot of people that I've seen that, I mean, from my point of view, that don't do songs with each other just because they think they're better than the other.
I never heard someone say that.
No, nobody said that. Nobody said that. I'm just saying
this,
in general.
though.
Like,
I'll say this to play off what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, though. Don't worry. I know what you mean. So there's top artists in Portland who have not done features with other top artists.
Yeah.
Why not? I asked the same shit.
Why not?
Because they bitch ass. No, I'm playing. That's probably playing off what you're saying. I think people look at it as not really not supporting. I think artists look at it as competition. They're competitors.
It's whack, dude, for me.
But unfortunately, I don't look at people as competitors. That's why people fuck with me. It's because if someone's meant to win, they're gonna win.
Absolutely.
You being in their life ain't gonna change shit. If someone's gonna win, they gonna win.
Hey, I gotta say something about that too, just from a rap's perspective. Like, we were all talking about image and marketing and stuff like that. Sometimes you just cannot collab with certain people, bro. Yeah. And it's not personal.
Boom.
It's just that
your brand.
The brand just don't align. We don't speak about the same things. We're not aiming in the same direction. We're just not carrying ourselves the same way.
Experience.
And it doesn't have to be like a negative thing. It just if it don't make sense, then it don't make sense. And that's not, it don't got to be like hating. You know,
that's true, because I had someone recently don't try to get in your feelings. Someone recently, super gang member.
Oh,
that's all I gotta say. And they can look, I'm a fucking goofy as hell and funny. Like, unfortunately, like I do like their music, but I kind of was talking about my manager. I was like, I feel like this like is gonna be weird for my brand. Like it just isn't gonna look right, and I can't even act hard.
That's something that
so it's gonna be a weird thing. And he's cool. And so my manager did respond like, hey, and he did make it about the brand. He's like, hey, straight up, this just does not fit her brand.
It doesn't fit. Yeah, I gotcha.
And that's totally okay. Yep. And I feel like if somebody told me that, and I was carrying myself in a way where it's like, okay, I'm a little bit spicy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Most people know that they a little bit spicy with it, you know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
They should not take that personal. If like, okay, I might be in a little bit of different situation with my fan base over here. And
it was like gang,
it is what it is, you know what I'm
like,
saying?
I'll say this, like Prince Hive is cool, and I would do some shit with Prince Hive. He's on some gang shit, but like he also is on like some, like the way he raps, I don't know.
He
it's
got
like
mainstream
so fun
flair
and
to him
hype
too,
and
though.
mainstream.
Like, I feel like
I would love to do music with him, and he's like gang, but like there's a certain gang like
where it's just like a little
okay,
too much.
That's a little like okay. I don't even know what
it's
you're
like,
talking
I don't even
about
know if it's safe in this booth right now.
Yeah, that's how it was, and where I was like, nah, that's doing too much, my brother.
Yeah, so
how do you handle haters when people talk shit about you, like online, on TikTok, when shit goes viral? Your comedy, everything in general.
I will say
you ignore them.
I don't ignore nobody necessarily. I just say I try to do this thing where I stick to my opinion and that's my opinion.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I try not to argue. When I first started in comedy, I did used to argue. Like my first like couple months, I was in comedy in my feelings, arguing with everybody, and I realized how much energy I gave people and how much it like affected me. Like I was mad.
Right.
And so I started learning like just I'll say my opinion. I definitely will. If someone says some shit, I always respond. Everyone knows I will definitely respond. And I will say this straight up. If someone responds again, I actually almost leave every single person hanging because I already had to say my opinion and give out so much energy to like 9 people.
going.
I'm not
that
gonna
like I
defend
actually
this and explain this because
Boom.
now I already know you don't want to agree.
exactly.
From your first.
So I really don't go any further, but I will say my opinion. But I don't go any further because it's too much energy already.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that's something you got to learn too.
You got to remember, people are always going to hate on you, and also people want to be you. People want your success. I realized because I was an overnight success, and people have been doing this for 10 years. They brought that. They get mad at me for that. I've been doing this for 10 years. Why are you so popular? That's why comics don't book me.
Yeah.
I've literally had comments be like, "It's just so annoying how you got so popular, and I've been out here for 10 years."
It's because they don't do it. They do the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Hey, those same comics have to introduce me at Helium competition every year too. I said that just to talk
your
shit.
shit,
I told
yeah.
y'all,
Talk your
Charlemagne.
Pop it
They
off. There you
hated
go.
Pop it off.
introducing me.
All right, so close this out right
Yeah.
now. So what do you got going on? What's gonna happen? Like, what do you have going on right now?
Yeah, what's next for the
What's
Shrista
next?
brand?
Yeah.
So, but what I got going on, Clowning, coming in January. That is my comedy show where I host, and we keep it. It's lit.
Yeah.
It's like riff and it's fun, and I tell the comics they can say and do whatever the hell they want, which is not common in Portland. You don't know that, but it isn't. You're not allowed to say a lot of shit. You got to like limit yourself.
And what venue are you gonna have
We are
that
at Kelly's Olympian. Another announcement I'll make, and it's the only announcement I am gonna make because y'all gotta wait for other stuff.
Yeah.
I am bringing back Late Lyrics hip hop open mic.
It's coming back.
Ooh,
Just because
Late
I love
Lyrics
that.
is on
I
the
don't
way.
know. I just loved it. I love the
I thought it was so
community.
dope.
Yeah, it's
I just
dope.
love the community and the networking. Like it's just like a lot of people just got together.
Yeah.
And it was just fun. Like you ain't gotta go to perform, just hanging out.
Even
Exactly.
networking, people don't understand. Like, if
A
you
lot of people
if
got
you want
together
to
on
do that, you got to just go with
Networking
network.
key.
All about networking. Going out
Networking. You know what it is.
Alrighty.
We say it every time. Hey, man. So
Let's
thank you
get
for
it.
coming through. We really enjoyed everything you had to say. You really
Yeah,
put a
appreciate
lot
you
of people
coming
on
through.
game. You know what I'm saying? That's free game. Y'all better soak it up. I go by the name of Zeke Jones. It's our boy.
I'm Johnny right here.
Go ahead and close it out. This is the
Shrista.
PDX Biz Talk podcast. We have real conversations with real business owners and do real business. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one, man.
All right, peace out.
Holla.